Ava Collins' fingers slipped on her saxophone, sending a sharp, broken sound across the elegant ballroom. Hundreds of heads turned toward the stage, confused by the mistake. Ava never made mistakes. She wasn't looking at her instrument. She was staring at the grand staircase. The groom had just appeared. His arm was wrapped around a beautiful woman in a white designer gown. He smiled at the guests. Then he looked toward the stage. The smile disappeared. Nathan Brooks froze. For a heartbeat, the entire world seemed to stop. Ava's breathing caught in her throat. Her fiancé, the man she'd loved for 7 years. The man who had kissed her goodbye that morning and told her, "Wish me luck. These investor meetings could change our lives." Now he stood beneath crystal chandeliers, accepting applause as another woman's future husband. Ava forced herself to finish the melody. Every note felt like a knife. Nathan couldn't take his eyes off her. Neither could she. 3 weeks earlier. "You missed one." Ava lowered her saxophone and laughed. "I did not." Nathan grinned from the couch. "You absolutely did." She shook her head. "I've been playing this piece for years. And tonight you played an F instead of an E." She folded her arms. "Oh really, Mr. Music Expert? I'm dating the expert." Some of it rubbed off. She walked over and lightly hit his shoulder. "Liar. I'll prove it." He picked up his phone and replayed the recording he'd secretly made while she practiced. Halfway through, there it was. One wrong note. Ava covered her face. "I can't believe you recorded me. I wanted to hear my favorite musician. You wanted evidence." He laughed. "That too." She sat beside him. "One wrong note. You know what I love?" "What?" "You always notice your mistakes before anyone else does." She leaned against his shoulder. "That's because I want every performance to be perfect." He kissed the top of her head. "You already are." She smiled. "You've been saying that since college." "Because it's still true." 7 years. Sometimes Ava wondered where the time had gone. They had met during freshman orientation after Nathan accidentally spilled coffee across her music textbook. He had apologized 5 times. Bought her another book. Walked her to class. Asked her to dinner. By graduation, everyone assumed they would eventually get married. Even Ava's late mother used to joke, "If Nathan doesn't marry you, I'll adopt him just so I can disown him." Nathan had laughed every single time. After her mother passed away 2 years earlier, Nathan had become Ava's greatest source of comfort. When grief stole her motivation to play music, he encouraged her. When she doubted herself, he reminded her how talented she was. When she inherited her mother's brownstone and worried she couldn't afford to keep it, Nathan had promised, "We'll protect this place together." She believed every word, because he had never given her a reason not to. At least, that's what she thought. "A penny for your thoughts." Nathan's voice pulled her back. She smiled. "I was thinking about Mom." He gently took her hand. "She'd be proud of you." "I hope so. I know so." She looked around the living room. The old piano. Family photographs. The faded curtains her mother refused to replace. Every corner carried memories. "I still hear her telling me to practice." Nathan laughed. "She'd probably tell you to stop overworking." "Never. See, I have a performance every weekend this month. And every bride in Boston apparently wants Ava Collins." She smiled. "I've been lucky." "No." He looked into her eyes. "You've worked for it." She kissed him. "Thank you." "For what?" "For always believing in me." He grew unusually quiet. She noticed immediately. "What?" He looked toward the window. "Nothing." "Nathan." He smiled nervously. "I was actually planning something tonight." "Oh." "I wasn't sure if the timing was right." She raised an eyebrow. "Now you've made me curious." He stood, walked toward the bookshelf, reached behind a framed photograph, then turned around holding a small navy blue velvet box. Ava's eyes widened. "No." Nathan slowly walked back toward her. "I had this whole speech prepared." She laughed through nervous tears. "And now, I forgot every word." "You never forget words." "I did." He dropped to one knee. "Ava Collins." His voice trembled. "You've been my best friend since I was 19. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "You've celebrated every success with me." He smiled. "You've survived every failure with me." She nodded. "I can't imagine growing old with anyone else." He opened the ring box. A brilliant diamond sparkled beneath the living room lights. "So," he laughed awkwardly, "I guess there's only one question left." She was already crying. "Ava." He took a deep breath. "Will you marry me?" She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she wrapped both hands over her mouth. Nathan chuckled. "Is that a good silence?" She suddenly threw her arms around him. "Yes." He laughed. "I'll take that as a yes." "It is." He slid the ring onto her finger. It fit perfectly. I love you. I love you more. You can't. I definitely can. He kissed her. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then Ava held out her hand, admiring the ring. It's beautiful. It belonged to my grandmother. She looked at him. You trusted me with something so precious? I trust you with everything. She smiled. So do I. Later that evening, they sat on the back porch overlooking the small garden Ava's mother had loved. Nathan looked distracted. She noticed. What are you thinking about? He sighed. I wasn't going to bring this up tonight. Then don't. I don't want to hide things from you. She turned toward him. You never have to. He nodded slowly. You know the investment group I've been working with? The commercial property project? Yeah. What about it? They finally accepted my proposal. Her face lit up. Nathan. He smiled. I should be celebrating. So why aren't you? The deadline changed. What do you mean? They moved everything forward by almost a month. Oh, my capital contribution has to be deposited before the end of the month. She frowned. I thought your company was covering that. They're covering most of it. Most. I still have to contribute my own share. How much? Nathan hesitated. His shoulders dropped. I hate saying this. Nathan, it's $62,000. Silence. Only the wind moved through the garden. Finally, Ava whispered. That's a lot. I know. I don't have that kind of money. I know. I've saved, but I wasn't asking you. She looked at him. I promise. He forced a smile. I just needed someone to talk to. She studied his face. He genuinely looked defeated. If this falls apart. He swallowed hard. Everything I've worked for disappears. She reached for his hand. We'll figure something out. I don't want this to become your burden. We're getting married. I know. So your burdens become mine. He looked away. I hate hearing you say that. Why? Because you've already given me so much. She smiled softly. You've given me 7 years. And I would give you 70 more. She rested her head against his shoulder. Neither of them noticed the shadow standing across the street. Nathan barely slept that night. He lay awake beside Ava, staring at the ceiling while she slept peacefully with her hand resting on his chest. The engagement ring glimmered faintly in the moonlight. She trusted him completely. That was what made everything harder. Around 6 the next morning, Ava stirred. You've been awake all night, haven't you? Nathan turned toward her and forced a smile. I didn't want to wake you. You were thinking about work. He nodded. I'm sorry. She reached up and touched his cheek. We'll get through it. You always say that. Because we always do. He kissed her forehead. I don't deserve you. She laughed softly. Stop saying that. I'm serious. So am I. She climbed out of bed. I'll make breakfast. I should. No. She smiled over her shoulder. My fiancé is officially banned from the kitchen today. He laughed. I make decent pancakes. You make smoke alarms. That happened once. It happened 3 times. As she disappeared into the kitchen, Nathan looked down at his phone. There were 12 unread messages. The newest one read, You have 10 days. Don't fail us again. Another arrived. Call me. Now. Nathan quietly got out of bed and stepped onto the back porch before answering. What? A cold male voice answered. You've been avoiding me. I'm handling it. Handling it. I said I am. You've been saying that for weeks. Nathan lowered his voice. I'll have the money. You'd better. I said I will. If you don't. The caller paused. You already know what happens. The line went dead. Nathan closed his eyes. For the first time in years. He looked genuinely afraid. Breakfast was unusually quiet. Ava noticed. You still look worried. It's nothing. Nathan. I'll be okay. She reached across the table. I wish I could do something. He stared at her for several seconds. You already have. What do you mean? You've always believed in me. She smiled. That's easy. Why? Because you're you. He looked away. If only that were true. The following week passed quickly. Nathan became increasingly difficult to reach. Sometimes he answered immediately. Other times hours passed before she heard from him. Still, he always had an explanation. I'm flying to New York. The investors changed the schedule. I'm meeting attorneys. I'll call tonight. Sometimes he did. Sometimes he didn't. Whenever Ava sounded disappointed, he knew exactly how to calm her. You know you're still my favorite person, don't you? She smiled every time. I was beginning to wonder. You never have to. When are we celebrating our engagement? Soon. You've been saying soon for 2 weeks. I know. Promise me. I promise. She believed him. After 7 years. Promises still meant something. One rainy afternoon, Ava met her longtime pianist, Marcus, for coffee after rehearsal. Marcus stirred his drink. So, what? When do I finally get to wear an expensive suit and embarrass you at your wedding? She laughed. You've been planning your speech already? For years. Nathan wasn't there. Marcus noticed. Where's Mr. Future Husband? Business trip. Again. She nodded. The investment project. Marcus frowned slightly. That's been going on a while. She shrugged. It's a huge deal. I guess. You don't sound convinced. Marcus smiled. I'm just saying. What? I miss seeing him around. He misses everyone too. Marcus didn't argue. Instead, he changed the subject. So, have you picked a wedding song yet? Ava smiled. I'll play it myself. Marcus laughed. Only you would perform at your own wedding. I've already written half of it. I want front row seats. You'll have them. Neither of them noticed the man sitting alone in the corner booth. He quietly watched Ava. Then he looked down at a photograph on his phone. It was Nathan, leaving an expensive jewelry store, with another woman. The man quietly stood and left without saying a word. 2 days later, Ava walked into her bank. The same loan officer greeted her. Ms. Collins. Good morning. What brings you back? I wanted to ask a few questions. Of course. She sat across from him. I've been thinking about the refinancing. He nodded. Any concerns? No. She hesitated. I just wanted to understand exactly when repayment begins. He explained everything carefully. Ava listened. When he finished, she smiled. Thank you. My pleasure. As she stood to leave, he smiled warmly. I hope your fiancé's investment turns out exactly as planned. So do I. She meant it. With all her heart. That Friday evening, Nathan finally came home. He looked exhausted. His tie hung loose. Dark circles sat beneath his eyes. Ava hugged him tightly. I've missed you. I've missed you too. You've lost weight. He laughed weakly. Too many airport meals. I made lasagna. My favorite. I know. During dinner, she watched him push food around his plate. You're not eating. I'm just tired. You've barely said 10 words. He forced a smile. I'm okay. She reached across the table. Nathan. What? You know you can tell me anything. His eyes filled with guilt. I know. She squeezed his hand. We're getting married. I know. We promised no secrets. He nodded slowly. No secrets. For a moment, it looked as if he was finally going to confess everything. Instead, he smiled. I love you. She smiled back. I love you too. The truth remained trapped behind his silence. The next morning, Ava was polishing her saxophone when her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Hello. Good morning. Is this Ava Collins? Yes. This is Megan Foster from Prestige Live Entertainment. Hi, Megan. I'm sorry for calling on such short notice. No problem. Our lead saxophonist collapsed during rehearsal. Oh no. We're desperate. What do you need? A luxury engagement reception tomorrow evening. Tomorrow. I know it's last minute. Ava checked her calendar. I'm free after 3. The client is paying double. She laughed. You really are desperate. We are. Where's the event? The Hawthorne Grand Hotel. Ava whistled. That's one of the nicest venues in the city. Exactly. The couple requested a live saxophone performance during their grand entrance. I'd love to do it. You just saved us. Megan sounded genuinely relieved. I'll email the music list and schedule. I'll be there. Thank you, Ava. After hanging up, Ava smiled. The extra money would cover the next mortgage payment. Maybe, just maybe, by the time that payment was due, Nathan's investment would finally come through. She looked toward the engagement ring sparkling on her finger. Everything's finally coming together. She had no idea. By tomorrow night, everything she believed about her future would be shattered forever. The Hawthorne Grand Hotel shimmered beneath hundreds of crystal lights. Luxury cars lined the entrance. Guests stepped onto the red carpet dressed in tuxedos and evening gowns, laughing as photographers captured the celebration. Ava adjusted the strap on her saxophone case and smiled politely at the hostess. Good evening. Welcome. You must be Miss Collins. That's me. We're so glad you could come on such short notice. My pleasure. This way, please. She followed the hostess through the marble lobby toward the ballroom. Everything about the evening felt elegant. Fresh white roses, soft candlelight, a string quartet warming up, waiters carrying silver trays. The event coordinator greeted her. Hi, Ava. I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you. Your cue comes after the string quartet. You'll perform while our couple makes their grand entrance. Perfect. He handed her the program. The music order is here. She glanced at it. No names. Just bride and groom entrance. She smiled. Looks straightforward. It should be a beautiful evening. I hope so. Backstage, Ava assembled her saxophone. She closed her eyes, took one slow breath, then another. One of the violinists smiled. You always look this calm before performing? She laughed. I'm never calm. Across the hotel, Nathan adjusted his cufflinks for the third time. His best man frowned. You look like you're about to face a firing squad. Nathan forced a laugh. Just nerves. Cold feet. No. You sure? Nathan nodded. I'm fine. His phone vibrated. A message from Ava. Good luck today. Dinner tomorrow? I miss you. Red heart. His chest tightened. He stared at the message for several seconds. His thumb hovered over the keyboard. He typed. Deleted it. Locked the phone. Mr. Brooks. The wedding planner smiled. They're ready for you. Nathan inhaled deeply. I'm coming. Back inside the ballroom, the lights dimmed. The string quartet finished their final piece. Applause filled the room. The MC stepped onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Ava lifted her saxophone. Thank you for joining us to celebrate two wonderful people beginning a beautiful new chapter together. The audience applauded. Ava began to play. The melody floated gently across the ballroom. Warm, elegant, graceful. Then the MC smiled. And now, please welcome our happy couple. Every guest turned toward the grand staircase. A spotlight illuminated the top landing. The bride appeared first. She looked radiant. The audience erupted into applause. Ava smiled while continuing to play. Then another figure stepped into the light. Tall, black tuxedo, confident walk. Her fingers froze. The note cracked. Her heartbeat slammed against her ribs. No. The groom turned toward the ballroom. Nathan Brooks. His eyes met hers. His smile disappeared instantly. Color drained from his face. For one terrifying second, neither of them moved. The applause continued. The guests noticed nothing. Only Ava and Nathan understood what had just happened. Years of memories flashed through Ava's mind. College, birthdays, road trips, the proposal, the bank transfer, the promises. Her vision blurred. Still, she forced herself to finish the song. When the final note ended, she walked backstage without looking at anyone. She barely made it into the hallway before tears filled her eyes. No, she whispered. This can't be real. Her phone rang. Nathan. She rejected the call. It rang again. Rejected. A message appeared. Please let me explain. Another. Don't do anything. Please. Ava stared at the screen. Then she laughed through tears. Explain what? A knock interrupted her. Miss Collins. The banquet manager smiled. We'll need you again in about 10 minutes. Ava nodded mechanically. Okay. The manager left. Ava sat alone. She opened her gallery. 7 years. Thousands of photographs. Videos. Voice messages. Every memory suddenly felt like evidence. She stood. Picked up her saxophone. I should leave. She took 3 steps toward the exit. Then stopped. Her mother's words echoed inside her mind. Never stay silent just because someone else is comfortable with your pain. Ava slowly turned around. No. I'm done protecting lies. Before she reached the ballroom doors, Nathan hurried into the hallway. Ava. She stopped. He looked terrified. I can explain. She folded her arms. I'm listening. It isn't what you think. What do I think? He struggled to answer. You saw one moment. I saw my fiancé standing beside another woman. It's complicated. She laughed bitterly. No, it is. No, Nathan. She stepped closer. It's actually very simple. He rubbed his forehead. Please don't do this here. Where would you prefer? He lowered his voice. After tonight. So you can lie to her a little longer? I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. I know. You borrowed $62,000. I'll pay you back. When? He couldn't answer. You proposed to me. Silence. You told me we were planning our wedding. Silence again. She looked into his eyes. Did you ever love me? Nathan's eyes filled with guilt. I did. She shook her head. No. If you loved me. Her voice trembled. You wouldn't have built your happiness on my heartbreak. He reached for her hand. She stepped back. Don't. Ava. I'm not the woman who's waiting for you in that ballroom. He closed his eyes. Please. She looked at him quietly. I'm not going to scream. Relief flashed across his face. I'm not going to slap you. He exhaled. I'm going to tell the truth. The relief vanished. You can't. I can. You'll ruin everything. She nodded slowly. You ruined everything first. Without another word, she walked past him. Nathan remained frozen. The banquet manager smiled as Ava approached. Ready for another song? She smiled politely. May I borrow the microphone first? Of course. He handed it to her. The guests continued talking. Glasses clinked. Someone laughed. No one realized the celebration was about to end. Ava tapped the microphone gently. Good evening. The room quieted. My name is Ava Collins. She took one slow breath. I was invited here tonight to perform. She looked directly at Nathan. But before I play another note, silence spread across the ballroom. There's something everyone here deserves to know. Nathan stepped forward. Ava, please. She ignored him. For the past 7 years. She held up her left hand. Nathan Brooks has been the man I planned to marry. Gasps filled the room. Isabel frowned. Nathan. He forced a nervous smile. I've never seen this woman before. Ava smiled sadly. Really? She connected her phone to the ballroom projector. A photograph appeared. Nathan kissing Ava during their college graduation. Another. Christmas together. Another. The proposal. Isabel slowly looked at Nathan. Tell me this isn't real. He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Ava displayed the bank transfer. $62,000. She looked around the room. I refinanced my late mother's home because he said we were building our future together. Charles Hawthorne stood. His expression hardened. He looked at Nathan. Is any of this false? Nathan remained silent. Charles turned to hotel security. Lock every exit. Nathan's eyes widened. Then he ran. 2 security officers intercepted him before he reached the lobby. Within minutes, local police officers, already called by Charles's legal team, arrived. They listened as Ava calmly showed them the proposal videos, financial records, messages, and voice recordings. One officer looked at Nathan. Sir, based on the evidence presented and the complaint being made, you'll need to come with us while we investigate. Nathan looked at Ava. I'm sorry. She met his eyes. So am I. Police escorted him from the ballroom. Months later, detectives uncovered multiple victims who described nearly identical schemes. Nathan was eventually convicted of fraud and related financial crimes. Through court-ordered restitution and recovered assets, Ava was able to save her mother's brownstone. Life didn't return to what it had been. It became something better. Ava no longer played music to impress anyone. She played because it reminded her who she was. 1 year later, she walked onto the stage at Boston Symphony Hall. The audience rose in applause. She smiled, lifted the same saxophone, and this time, she didn't miss a single note. Every sound that filled the theater carried freedom instead of fear. When the final note faded, the audience stood for a long, heartfelt ovation. Ava bowed, not for the woman she had been, but for the woman she had become. If Ava's courage inspired you, tell us in the comments what you would have done in her place. And if you enjoy powerful stories about resilience, truth, and second chances, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs the reminder that no lie lasts forever.